Jacob, you legend. What another fantastic training we had. It was great to see you. I'm so excited because you're going to be going to America in about 8 days. Congratulations, that's awesome. So today we covered how to eliminate those filler words as much as possible. So you know when we go and ah and you see those athletes on the news and the interviewer asks them a question, they go yeah, the boys were good, and ah, and you know, it gets a bit distracting. So the less fillers we can use, the more clear and confident you'll come across when you are speaking in public or on camera. So it's totally fine if you do the odd or ah, like that's absolutely fine, no crime at all, but just reducing the amount, fantastic idea. So how can you reduce the amount of ums and ahs? Well, we typically say or ah because we're trying to think of what to say next. So if you can be somewhat prepared before speaking, then that's going to help you out a whole bunch. Say for example, you've just had an epic race, you know an interview is going to be coming up or is likely to. So just have a moment to yourself, like 30 seconds, and just think, what happened back there in the race? How did I feel about it? What was a highlight? What was a low light? How do I overall perceive the race? What information have I got? And just by simply doing that, you're going to be somewhat prepared for an interview. Another great thing you can do, and this is if you're a little unprepared and you're literally being interviewed, then when you get asked a question and you need a little bit of time to think, you just pause, like just for a couple of seconds, and just pause and just think about what you want to say. It'll feel like an eternity, but it's not. And then speak. So you get asked, you know, how was the race back there? You can be like, it was really good. You know, my favorite part about the race back there was definitely, you know, the last 5 laps. We came around the bend, you know, and you can go on from there. So having a little pause is totally fine. In fact, it actually gives your audience a bit of time to catch up with what you're saying. Moving on from that, Jacob, I have to give you some praise. You are really loving the way that you are expanding on answers. So someone can throw a question at you and you make it a bit more interesting. For example, when I asked you, you know, what countries have you raced in? And you named the different countries, and then you expanded and said, my favorite one was this one, and this is why I liked it so much. That was really interesting to hear you talk about that, Jacob. So keep that up. You know, that's a great way to give value to the audience and make things interesting for them. Expand on your answers. Keep that up. You're very, very good at it. I'm proud of you. What else did we cover? We did the ums and the ahs. I'm having a pause now myself. And then the thing is, oh yes, so your challenge for this week, Jacob, is to film a video about the past, present, and the future, which is looking great. So you've got your trip coming up, you're moving to America. So talk a little bit about, you know, where you started, where things started out, where they are today, you know, what's happened recently in your life in terms of your racing career, and where things are going and where you're hoping things will go. Share with us a bit about your dream. I think that'd be so cool. You could open the video with something like, hey, it's Jacob here and I've got some exciting news that I want to share with you about my journey. So as you know, I started off in karting and, you know, XYZ happened. These days, been driving in cars, which has been amazing. And now I'm so blessed to be moving to America. You know, something along those lines, and talk about that and, you know, thanking people and what you're excited about in the future. Just make a short video, roughly 2 minutes long. And when you're doing it, do your best to add in some emotion into what you're saying. You know, when you're talking about something exciting, come across excited in your voice and your facial expressions and your gestures, and really draw us into that story. I think you're going to do a fantastic job of that, Jacob. And the other thing that we talked about was when it comes to like networking with people, and I think you're already quite good at this, but just to emphasize it, is be genuinely interested in others. So this week, when you're out there chatting with people, I challenge you to show interest in other people. So when they start talking about something they've been up to recently, I challenge you to ask them a little bit more about that. Get them talking a little bit and actively listen. Be engaged in what they're saying and show them that you care about them through being interested in them, and they will absolutely love you. It's going to build up your charisma even more, because people love talking about themselves, and they love it when someone's interested in them. So Jacob, you can go around and make people feel special just by being interested in them and prompting them to talk a little bit more about themselves. Give it a crack. I think you're going to love it. So have a wonderful week, Jacob. Get that video made about the past, present, and the future, and have fun being interested in other people, and they will absolutely love you for it. Have a wonderful week, and I can't wait for our next training. See you then.